Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So I got a question. Instead of me just dropping knowledge or tips or anything like that, I'm really more so in this video just posing a question out there to the sales community on LinkedIn. Here's the question. What do you do if you're on a sales call? This could be any sales call, in general, it would probably either be a cold call, or more so, it's not a cold call. It's that first call after a cold call, like a discovery call, demo, where you're, doing some discovery and you're trying to teach and tailor, the prospect and kind of just see, if there's a fit, if there's an alignment, you're doing some discovery, you're doing a demo, that early stage of the process. But really, it could be late stage as well. It could be late stage during like the negotiation. Basically, here's the question. What do you do when you have a prospect or customer who is acting, hostile, abrasive, argumentative? They're kind of just being, a little difficult and combative. What do you do in that situation? Okay, how do you handle it? I've got three options here that I've listed, and that I'm going to outline, and I'm curious what you think. A, B, or C. What's the best way to handle it? Obviously, it might depend. Maybe it just depends on the situation. And but here's the first option. The first option, A, is just ignore it. Just ignore it. Stay the course. Just keep your cool. As a sales rep, keep your cool. Stay composed. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it rattle you. Obviously you're going to, that's going to be, you're going to, like, no matter what, which one of these three options you choose, like, you're going to, like, don't let it bother you. Don't let it rattle you. Stay composed, obviously. But this first option is ignore it. So just ignore it and just continue on with your sales call as you normally would, and just ignore the fact that the prospect that you're speaking with, that you're meeting with, is being rough around the edges. They're being a little hostile and combative. Just ignore it. Okay. That's the first option. Second option is to call it out. Call it out. Okay. So, you say to the prospect, you kind of pause for a second at some point during the conversation. Once you've realized, geez, like, I can't continue. I don't want to continue on this meeting, with the way it's going right now, going down this road. You don't like the road that it's going down, and it's going down that road because you kind of have like a difficult prospect on you're meeting with, and you just don't want it to continue on that road. So you call it out and you address the situation head on. So you pause, and maybe say something to them like, hey, so and so, hey Bob, or whatever their name is. It seems like, maybe this meeting isn't going so well. Or maybe you phrase it, hey, it seems like perhaps this isn't a great time. Perhaps this isn't a great time. Perhaps we should reschedule. It seems like, I don't even know how how you would phrase it, but just call it out and just say to them, hey, this meeting doesn't seem like it's going so well. Doesn't seem like we're hitting it off. Is there something, and then you kind of maybe follow that up with, is there something off here? Is there something wrong? Like, maybe you just, I don't know, like, you got to be obviously kind of delicate with how you phrase it, but by just calling it out and addressing it head on, one of two things is probably going to happen. Either A, the prospect is going to, like, say, oh, geez, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can totally see how, my behavior during this meeting, could have been taken the wrong way. Like, I'm just really having a rough day. I'm just having a rough day. I'm so sorry if I, offended you in any way, or if you felt like I was taking it out on you. Man, geez, like I feel so bad. Like, and if that's how the prospect reacts, that's a good thing, because now the rest of that meeting and the rest of the sales process, that person is probably going to be on their best behavior. They've realized, oh geez, like I can't be acting that way. And they're going to then probably adjust their behavior and be much more friendly, to you for the rest of that process. So now that rest of that meeting and the rest of that sales process is going to be great, right? Like, that's a good thing you address that objection head on. However, it could also have the opposite effect. If you address that and address it head on and call it out, it could do the opposite. And now all of a sudden that prospect can become even more hostile. They could become even more hostile. That could piss them off a lot, and now all of a sudden they're yelling at you and like, and they're becoming even more mad. And, they might just, if they're, just hang up, they might just leave the Zoom or just storm out of the meeting. But that might be a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing, because now you might have a prospect that you're working with that, if they're really that hostile and combative and argumentative and high strung, you probably don't want to work with them anyways. Like, that's probably not a good fit. Like, you probably don't want them as a customer. So, if they walk out of that meeting, they storm off, if they, that by you calling it out, and addressing it head on, if that results in them, becoming even more hostile, well, that's probably a good thing. Just walk away. Just end the meeting, walk away, and move on to a different opportunity, a different account. Or if you only have like 10, 20 accounts, like if you're selling like big enterprise sales and like that's literally somebody from Target or Walmart or something, like hopefully there's somebody else at Target or Walmart, that you can work with. There's another person. I mean, there's, the company's got 50,000, 100,000 employees. I'm sure that's not the only person, that you could possibly sell to at that company. The third option is other. Okay. Other. So that's just like, if you're watching this video and you have another approach, what is it? What is it? What is that other approach? If you have another approach, then post it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. So that's the three options: is either ignore it and just stay the course, just continue on with your normal sales process and, just continue on with the call and, just accept the fact that sometimes people might, be that way. And maybe it's just a bad day for that person. Maybe the rest of the sales process, they'll be okay. Or, you're just going to close the deal. And sometimes you close deals with customers that, there might just be, angry people and that's okay. Or you call it out and address it head on, or other. What's other? I don't know. You tell me. If you're watching this video, if you have another approach, let me know. Thanks for watching. Look forward to the comments section to see what everybody thinks and how you handle this. Or if you're a manager, how you